Welcome back to the show. We are the Ignite Your Purpose podcast. And Max, who are we? What do we do? What are we? What are we all about?
Man, you put me on the spot and I don't have my cheat sheet for me.
Not learning.
This is episode 96 of the Ignite Your Purpose show, John. And please, because I don't have my cheat sheet on me, tell them the new slogan because it's so sexy.
Oh man,
none of us got it. This is
we talk longevity through a healthy lifestyle. It's a mix of mental, physical, and spiritual knowledge. The mind, body, soul trifecta. Negative to positive, unhealthy to healthy. It's a journey. It's our learnings, our experience, our knowledge that we just share with you. We hope it will bring you some value. Some things may resonate, others may not. It's just our thing. So today or yesterday, the topic of listening came up at some point. So we're gonna dive a bit deeper. We're gonna get in the weeds. So Maximus, listening, our ability to listen, to hear. What say you?
The art of listening, something I'm still working on after 10 whole years in the game. I work on it every day because my old mentality would be to immediately rebuttal. John says he loves meat, and I'd be like, well, I fucking hate meat, excuse my French, and here's the reasons why. So I didn't even take into consideration what John was saying. I'm just like, I don't give a crap. He doesn't align with me, and I'm off, right? So yeah. Something I've been trying to do probably within the last year, and it just came up the other day. I went out for a lunch meeting with a dear old friend of mine. We've been, what's it called when you're separated, whatever that is. You've been estranged from each other for a while. There we go, estranged. Thank you. And we've gone on our separate journeys. Mine was Soto Zen. Hers is a whole different way. And I sat there for probably an hour, 45 minutes while she talked. And I actually learned the art of shut the absolute F up. Because our stuff was so out of whack that there was actually no place for me to there was no point me to rebuttal other than to waste time. And it was the first time I realized that practice. To actually sit there and listen. And don't get me twisted, there was a few nuggets in there, John. But usually if I was just going to jump down her throat and be like, no, that's why I shouldn't do that, or I do this, and basically my ego trying to school her with my belief system, and then it's just two belief systems, right? I just sat there and I was like, let this beautiful soul speak. Let her speak her truth. Let her speak her knowledge base right now, and let me listen and let me see what the reasons are and the lessons are for me to listen.
Yeah. And it may not align, but we may learn something. The very difference how somebody else thinks, and that allows us to be better around them, to behave in a slightly different way to enable that relationship to work. But it's interesting. I'm not sure if it's in our DNA to want to be the guy doing all the talking or the girl doing all the talking. Max is frozen up. I'm going to keep going. I hope he'll pop back. But if you're in a conversation and all you're doing, oh, here he is waiting for the opportunity to say your thing. It just ties in with Max. If you're just sat there waiting to say, yeah, but I've read and I know, did you know? And that's bullshit. Or if you're just sitting there waiting for the opportunity to add your 2 pence worth, you are not listening. And I'm a professional at it. For 3, 4, 5 years of reading, and I've just got all of this amazing knowledge. Red pill, Matrix. It's not an egotistical, I know better. It's just out of pure. It's incredible, what you learn and what you know, and therefore I'm like, waiting for the opportunity, and you lose all of this stuff that's coming back to you. So, of course, there are those times when you wait for, you don't interject, you wait for the pause, and okay, that's interesting and things. But if you're just sat there thinking, how can I answer this? What can I do? And I got passed on the name of a podcast. Dig it up here. And it's all about the art of listening. It's called, did anybody ever watch MASH as a child? It used to be a show based in Vietnam. It was a medical.
I've seen that on. Yeah, I've seen that on the Deja Vu channel, the old school channel.
The name of one of the main characters is gone, but his name's Alan Alda, and he's an actor, but he's got a podcast called Clear and Vivid, and it is all about the art of listening. Just only literally a few days ago heard about it, so I'm now sitting there trying to learn about how to sit there and shut the F-bomb up, and to be interested in that person, not trying to be interesting to get their attention.
And that's where the yin and the yang, we always talk about this, everything's connected, right? The yin, the yang, the great art of just balance, right? Is if we go back to where society once was, and none of us were there, so we don't really know, but the ancient Greeks, the ancient Romans, and how most spiritual traditions talk about the debate, right? So the true form of knowledge comes from debate, which means two sides talking, but out of that debate becomes, side A and side B going, well, side A had a good point there, side B had a pretty good point there. Cool, we still have our differences, but let's meet in the middle there. Whereas like what we're saying right now is something John and I are very practiced in, obviously, is wanting to regurgitate this information that we've learned, right? And if everybody's doing that, then nobody's listening. They're just like, okay, this book right here is my God, and this is all I know. So John, check it out. Page 18, that's what you have to know too, right? Like,
yeah.
And John's going, yeah, but page 19 in my book is better than page 18 in your book. And then we get into the whole, my dad's better than your dad.
Yeah.
And nobody's listening.
It's interesting because I'm doing it here, and this is slightly different. It's because we're doing this live podcast, and Max is talking about things, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, and this would be interesting to say. So and I'm not sure if Max does this.
I have to.
We're kind of engaged in the conversation, but we're also distracted from it. And we're thinking about what we're going to say because we only generally come up with the topics on the day, really. We thought about it yesterday, but I sat down, we had a quick pre-roll chat and said, should we talk about listening or should we talk about the Monsanto thing? Oh, let's do listening. And now we're coming up with the stuff on the spot. So there's a part of it, but I've got, where Max just said it's about dialogue and that creates an informed decision. And your opinion may not change, but it may. And I've got written on the board here, listening is being prepared to change your mind.
I agree with that one. Hell yeah.
So I thought that's quite a profound statement. Being interested in the other person, not trying to be interesting, and being prepared to change your mind should you get this information out. So there we go. A few nuggets there for you.
Amen. And the beauty in between, a dialogue, right? When you have a dialogue, you're saying something that then triggers something for me, right? Yep. And it's not like I'm just waiting to rebuttal. It's like, yes. Oh man, that was a good point, John. Let me piggyback upon that. Or, John, I agree, but I disagree. You know what I mean? So, and that dialogue creates thought, creates expansion in the brain. We're talking neuroplasticity. And your statement is profound because it's true. It opens that box back up. It opens the door instead of us all being closed off to, no, this. I read this in 1983, and this is the stone cold fact, and you're putting your foot down and you're having a temper tantrum like a kid. No, that's not what we want. We want open lines of dialogue. Now, don't get me twisted. There's going to be people who have absolutely no clue what they're talking about, in our humble opinion, and they might feel the exact same about us, right? This kid's out to lunch. Ignite your purpose. Go after yourself. You know what I mean? But
woo woo. Yeah. Mate, I've got nothing to add.
That's it. That's all, people.
Nothing to add.
That was absolutely perfect, if I do say so myself.
Well, these shows will continue to grow and become smoother or more informative as Max and I learn this dialogue online across 8,000 miles from Western Canada to the Isle of Man. Of course, we've got this instant communication now. We've got this amazing thing called the internet. It's not like time delays and gaps on the telephone, but it is a learning process. Trying to sit here, listen, think of something, but then also interject at the right time, or think, right, Max is coming to the end of something. His point now, right now, is my time to dive in without, and we sometimes do. I certainly do this. I'm like, give me a break. Oh, yeah, I've got something to say now. Occasionally, it's okay, but it's a skill. It's a skill. It's a baby step, and the more we do it, the better we get, and the more we grow.
It is an art. It is an art.
Yeah,
and you got to hone your skill.
And I'm sure this is why people get paid multi-million pounds for being on TV and hosting shows and things. But we just do it for the love. And on that note, we thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for commenting. Please, if you like this show, if you like Matt and myself, please hit that subscribe button wherever it is. So you get notified when we pop a new show out or we're live, and you don't have to watch them, but at least you'll be informed. So on that note, see you Sunday.
We out.